Hello guys and welcome to another Critcast. Today we're taking a look at Valley of the Sun. This is the CAT2 race. I told you I'd bring it to you. This is from the perspective of the winner of the CAT2 race, Johnny Corcoran. And he is here with me today. We're going to sit down for the next 30 minutes and we're going to talk about everything there is to talk about with Johnny and this race, training, nutrition, what he does before, after a race, how he eats, how he sleeps, all that cool stuff. And he's here with me today. Johnny, thanks for hanging out with me today, making this cool video happen for these fine folks at home.
Dude, absolutely. Thanks so much for having me, and this should be a lot of fun. So thanks for watching, and I'm excited to dig into this.
Yeah. So this is in Phoenix, Arizona. I don't know if you guys caught the last video. This is again Valley of the Sun. This happens once a year. It's a 3-day stage race. This is the third day. This is just the crit. Johnny did race all three races. I guess before we get into the crit, let's talk about just how the weekend went. How did that first day start out? It was a time trial, right?
Yeah, it was a hard weekend, great weekend. I love this race. Look forward to it. Every year I get to do it. That first day, that Friday morning, afternoon, is a time trial. It's 7 miles, 7 miles up rollers, and then you kind of do a quick U-turn and turn right around and do 7 miles downhill. And it was real hard. I am not a time trialist. And time trials are just it's an art form. You have to really practice and get good at those, and I am not good at those. And so I, just went out there and tried just to hang on and just to kind of give it an effort. So that was Friday, the 14-mile time trial. And then Saturday is a 96. They said 94. It's really 96.
96-mile road race?
Road race.
And you're essentially like, we're describing what a GC guy is, because to be able to time trial, road race, and then win a crit, this race really was won, would you say, on the time trial?
Yeah, it's won on Friday,
yeah.
Really. It was a little different for the pro race this year. But really, if you have a good time trial, then this is the race for you. So, yeah it's won on Friday, and, you can hang on Saturday. Sometimes there's a break, but rarely. And, whoever's going into Sunday today on this race into GC is really kind of going to be the winner.
Yeah, because all you need is a little advantage, whether it's 30 seconds, even a minute, and all you got to do is just kind of sit in and roll across the line. So
yeah, exactly.
So anyway, that was kind of the case. So, but Johnny was so out of contention for GC, but your main thing is crit racing, which we're going to get into as well, and why you are a crit racer specifically, and what makes someone something. We'll talk a little bit about that. But before we get too deep into that, let's give everybody a little background on you. They saw the video I put up last week, which was a cool montage of cuts, and it got them all excited. So let's get behind who is Johnny.
Cool.
Yeah, so let's first start. How old are you, Johnny?
26. Racing age 26.
Racing age 26. How long have you been riding bicycles? How long have you been racing and riding?
Yeah, see, I think I got my first bike when I was a sophomore in college. So that's like, what is that? 19 years old?
19, okay.
Yeah, 19 years old.
Road bike?
Yeah, it was a fixie.
Fixie, all
Fixies
right.
were the thing in college, and
All
so
right.
I had one of those, and just rode around for that for fun, and then saw mountain biking, so I got a mountain bike. My first race was a mountain bike race. It was the Cactus, the C4 here in Phoenix, and 26 miles. I did so bad on that race, but I was hooked. And then I just wanted to go faster and faster, so I got a road bike.
Yeah. So before you talk about the road bike, what kind of physical shape were you in? In college when you first got that bike. People ask me if I was an athlete before I started. I've only been riding 3 years, my 4th year now. Were you physically fit? Did you do any running before? Were you a snowboarder? Was there anything?
Yeah, in high school I was a runner, and so I kind of came into college as I was on the track team. I was a sprinter.
Sprinter?
Yeah, I was a sprinter on the track team.
Okay, all right, we're getting into something now.
But I hadn't run in many, many years. As soon as I left high school, I stopped running. Didn't touch the track. But I snowboarded and skateboarded, wakeboarded, all that stuff. I stayed in decent enough shape, and I've kind of just always been blessed with a good metabolism and I did some rock climbing here and there. So
I'm super
yeah.
jealous, man. But isn't that the case where, like, you were, as a human being, like as men are in high school, maybe we're playing some sports, pretty fit, and then either get into college or get out of high school and get a job or whatever it is, and it kind of goes away for a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool you found cycling so quick. It took me 10 years to find it.
Yeah.
You jumped right back into something. So, okay, so pretty good background. And, that does have a lot to do with it, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, all right, you got your first road bike. So you got a mountain bike, did all right, got a road bike.
Got a road bike in the beginning of 2014. And then I saw my first crit. I went to watch a crit, and I was like, "That's the coolest thing ever." I just want to do that. So I just started riding my road bike, and I think I did the Tour de Scottsdale. It was one of my first races ever, and oh man, I think I did it around 4 hours. It was so slow.
Right.
And then I just kind of started finding group rides, and I found one of my local group rides, and I just kind of went. One summer morning, and fell in love with it. Just the camaraderie, the people, the energy, the ride, everything was just awesome. And I wasn't very good at all. I kind of was just learning. But you got to start somewhere. And so that was, did my first group ride in 2014.
2014 first group ride. And man, that just shows you like how important it is to get out and ride with other people, and how, everybody's big into the trainers, and everybody's big into getting a coach and following a really tight regimen. But, you just started riding with groups and trying to be at the front, I'm guessing. And
yeah,
here you are, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
a couple years later. What is it? 4 years later, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I've preached this in this channel before. Go find a group ride. If you're starting to get quick enough and you're beating up on just a couple friends you're riding with, go to your local bike shop, find a group ride, get involved. You're gonna meet the Johnny of the area, and he's gonna ride away from you. But keep going, because I'm sure when you started, you weren't dropping everybody, right?
No, I was getting dropped.
Yeah.
And every week it'd be like, hey, I'm just gonna hang on for a little bit longer. So funny. My wife would be like, man, how can you do the same ride every week, every day? And I'm like, it's different. Every week it's just different. You gotta try something new, and you get to make it a little bit longer and last a little bit longer. And I still kind of remember it took me like a couple months to kind of finish some of the rides and just be proud of finishing. And so, yeah.
That's great. That's what my channel's about. Is I was trying to, if you go back just a couple pages of my videos, you'll see me getting dropped on the same group rides you're discussing. And that was only like last year for me, So it's cool to hear that that's where you came from as well. And on screen here, not too much going on. There looks like some shuffling going around, but we're kind of just sitting in, right? There wasn't really no one really tried to. Did you feel there was going to be a breakaway at all? They got away?
No, like we talked about in that previous video, we knew that there wasn't going to be much happening off the front. No breakaways. I mean, if you're looking at the speedometer here, it's quick the whole time. We held an average of 28 something, and it's just so fast, and everybody's doing work, and so. There was no threat for
no one's going away. Everything's getting brought back.
Yeah.
I'll link below, guys, Johnny's Strava page as well, so you guys can go find him, and then you can look up the ride and kind of check out his power numbers. He rides with the power meter, obviously, and heart rate and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay, cool. So moving right along, Johnny's 26. You have a full-time job, right, Johnny?
I do. I work full-time, married.
Married?
Have a dog and a life outside of cycling. Yeah. Got all that.
That's cool too. That's cool to know that you can do it, guys. It's possible. There's enough time in the day, no matter what excuses you can drum up. You can always get out and you can ride, even if it's a couple hours a day. I talked to you guys about how, and we'll touch on that a little bit here in just in a second about Johnny's training, but how it doesn't take these 3-4 hour rides to be fit enough to be healthy and fast on a bike. You don't have to ride for 4 hours. Yes, there's some advantages of that for, like, say, that road race, that 90-mile road race, right?
We could use some of that for sure.
Yeah, but how often are you going to be doing 96-mile, road races?
I think I only do 2 or 3 a year, so not a whole lot. Big critter.
Yeah, crits are fun. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so there you go. That's just Johnny. Let's not talk about. We know your age. You're 26. How much do you weigh, Johnny? How tall are you?
Man, I think I'm around the 150s. I hover between like 145 and 155. I don't think I've ever weighed more than 155 in a long time. It's funny, I weigh almost like the same I do in high school, which is kind of funny.
That's and I'm sure a lot of people are jealous of that.
Yeah, no, very, very lucky there. But it's also I can't gain weight or any muscle if I even tried. So my upper body, if you haven't see me in these videos, then I'm very aerodynamic up top. Is what I like to call it.
That's perfect. Yeah, no, aerodynamic. But I mean, as a cyclist sprinting, you have to be able to counter your we'll call it the bottom end, your lower half. But that's it. And like you just said, so much of it is aerodynamics, and obviously 1,300 watts. You're able to hang onto the handlebars somehow, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. That's all I need.
And how tall are you?
5'11".
5'11".
Yeah.
And you hover right at 150, we'll say.
Yeah.
Give
right
people an idea.
5'11",
Give people an idea of your kind of watts per kilo.
Yeah.
And I might even pull up a little thing here. Talk to me and talk to the guys at home that are like, okay, let's get into training. So you're CAT2, you got a bike, you're doing these group rides, obviously. I group ride with you. I try to hang on your wheel as much as I can. We do these group rides every week. But what is in your mind for a week? What are you trying to go out and do on those group rides? Or, are you riding 3 times a week? And if you are, is it intense intervals? Is it long, slow distance? Is there zones involved? How are you training, in your mind?
Yeah, good question. It differs depending on where it is in the year. But I'll try and do around 150 miles a week. And so usually that's three major group rides for me during the week. So I'll ride Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday are kind of my 3. I like riding every other day, just get that rest day in between. So yeah, I ride hard Tuesday, hard Thursday, and if I'm not racing Saturday, I'm training hard Saturday as well. So those are kind of the 3 I do, and those are all 3 group rides. And one thing I do, and during kind of getting ready for the season, is I'll do intervals. So I like to ride up to the ride. I always will try and ride to the ride if I can, just to get those extra miles in, and I'll do some intervals on the way up to the ride. Just so that's when I'm fresh. That's when I want to give a good interval workout. And so, yeah, that's when I'm doing my interval stuff, my 20 by 30s and all this stuff. And any good interval, I think, before the ride is great. And that, man, you show up to the ride kind of toast, and you're like, okay, now I got to go out and do a hard effort. But that gets you ready for racing really quick and easy.
People in this world, and I mean around the bike shop, I work at a bike shop. I don't know if you guys listening at home know that, but I work at a bike shop, and I mean everybody has their own way to train and their own ideas on how to train. And what I'm hearing a lot of, though, is how incorrect some of the group ride training is, and how if you just go to a group ride and you sit in and you just sit on someone's wheel, that's not training. And
no,
dude,
or if you wait till like the last second to go up a climb, and you're like, hey, I was on the front for 2 seconds, and
but I try to tell people it depends on the wheel you're sitting on. Like at my level of fitness, if I'm sitting on your wheel just trying to chase you, I'm getting a crazy good workout. Yeah. I'm pushing myself to places that I would never push myself before, just chasing you. And then we get the cool, we're chasing sometimes Eric Marcotte or some big
You're working
pro.
out behind his wheel.
Yeah, exactly. And it also gives you some sort of motivation that I have yet to find on a solo ride or on a trainer.
Oh yeah.
I cannot find that dungeon that you put yourself in by myself. Right. I need to push. So
you need to train people better than you.
Yeah, that's it, dude. You hit it. Training with faster people makes you faster.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
I'm proud to say, as I ride in Arizona and Scottsdale with you, and as you win this Valley of the Sun crit, that I train with some fast dudes, obviously, So
yeah. And there's plenty of people faster than me, which, thankfully, yeah.
I know. Arizona's got a great rider base for sure.
We do. We get a ride all year round.
That's, well, I don't, but someone does. Okay, so now let's talk about a little detail, more information. You do those intervals, you go out and train. How serious are you getting with watts per kilo? What's your FTP right now? Do you test FTP regularly? Are you looking at that kind of stuff, or what do you look at for data?
Yeah, I've never done an FTP test. I've
like
never,
it.
I've
Okay.
honestly, I have no idea. I don't even know how long I could hold for 30 seconds in terms of power.
Okay.
I have a power meter for fun. Really, I kind of just look at the numbers a lot. Like, I was trying to see what's my max power. Like,
Yeah.
and that's really the only thing I kind of care about, or normalized power at the end of a ride, just to see how hard that ride was. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm not doing any calculated training.
See, I love
at
that.
all.
I love that. And this is all organic, uncut stuff. I've never talked to Johnny. We're good friends, but I've never talked to you about this detailed information. Like,
Right.
and there's a lot of guys on the internet that will tell you have to know these numbers and you have to go train these zones. And obviously, people, you don't. You simply don't. If you go ride your bike really hard, all the time, or in our case, it's every other day. With these group rides, you end up being pretty fit.
Yeah, you do. I mean, quickly. And so, if you do ride, it's really kind of the big thing that makes a difference. And so, get out there, get on your bike, and ride.
And ride it hard. Yeah.
Yeah, ride hard. Go all out, 100%. Man.
Okay, well, I was going to give you guys an idea of his power to weight ratio, but we'll have to calculate that at another time.
I couldn't tell you what it is.
But from Strava, you can do some calculations where you can figure out your best 20-minute effort. But really, you'd have to set out to try a 20-minute effort.
Yeah.
Johnny's fit, so I'm guessing it's up there in the 350s, 360s.
600s, yeah.
Yeah, 600s.
For sure.
Over 9,000s.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, that's good information. So for everyone out there thinking, I need a coach. I need a coach next year. I need to know my FTPs. I need to train in my zones.
I've never been coached.
That's,
so,
there you go. There's that. Okay, we covered most of the stuff. Let's talk a little bit about a touchy subject.
All right.
We're going to talk about nutrition and what you eat, Johnny.
Oh,
Because
boy.
now that we know that we're just riding our bike hard, let's talk about just general, when you're riding every other day, what are your goals for food for the day?
This is showing my cards here, but I really don't watch anything I eat at all. Like, I'm being dead serious.
Okay.
Like, one of my goals in life is to be able to eat whatever I want and still win races. I think that's I don't want it to really affect my life that much where I'm having to worry about. And I'm lucky enough. I know that's not everybody.
Yeah.
So I do know I'm lucky and blessed in that to not have to worry about that too much. But I've never counted calories. I've never...
Okay.
I've done none of that.
Never counted like macros. You don't keep track of proteins, carbs, fats, nothing like that.
You know, it's funny. One of our best races we did. It was Jason and I went out and did Man vs. Machine, and we went to McDonald's before.
Okay.
All
right.
I like to think.
Just for. Do you remember what you had at McDonald's before?
Yeah, I had 2 sausage egg McMuffins.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, 2 sausage egg McMuffins before, and I think Jace got 3rd that day. I got 5th, and that was. I just. As long as my stomach's full, really, that's what matters. And I could talk a little bit more about what I ate for this weekend and kind of how I.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about like a race day then. So if you're just eating generally whatever you want, I mean, for the most part. Now you're 26. That'll change a little bit too,
right.
I'm sure you've heard.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's genetically, it's genetics. I eat a handful of chocolate-covered almonds, and I swear I gained 4 pounds just from that. So it's genetics, but. On a race day, okay, so you...
race day's a little different, yeah.
I'm sure it's a little different. So you woke up this Sunday morning. This was an afternoon race.
Yeah, it's a 4 o'clock race, 4:10 race, a little later in the evening. So in the morning, I wanted to do a big breakfast. I think I had pancakes and eggs for breakfast. It was
Nice.
Blueberry pancakes and eggs. I wanted to kind of have something big in my stomach, and I knew I was going to do a light lunch. So usually for race day... If I'm racing anytime really after 1, I'm going to do a big breakfast and then kind of a peanut butter and honey sandwich before the race.
Something light.
Something
good
light,
carbs,
yet also filling. So, I mean, I do, before my group rides in the morning, I'll usually always have, half a bagel and peanut butter or just a slice of bread and peanut butter. And that's just something to fill my stomach. Nothing that's going to be too heavy, but also kind of tastes okay and gives me a little bit of protein or sugar. So
Yeah. Okay, man, that's simple. I mean, it's simple.
It is. I mean, I didn't eat a carne asada burrito before this race and a beer, but
right.
after I did, for sure.
Seriously,
yeah.
what did you eat after? Do you remember after this win?
After this win, I had Costco pizza. Costco pizza, churro, and I mean, usually after a race, it's pretty okay, where can we go to grab a burger?
Yeah.
Where's the closest In-N-Out really? And
Yeah.
I like
That's
cheeseburgers I like cheeseburgers and pizza after a race for sure, just to refill everything. And you're starving, and so Chipotle is great after a race. Chipotle is probably
Yeah.
the healthier option I do.
But
That's healthy
dude, I
eating for me.
like Costco pizza and cheeseburgers.
Yeah, dude, it works, man.
All right. Well, I know the guys at home. I know the comments that are going to come. It's, oh, he's 26 years old. He's got great metabolism still, and he's genetically, lucky and all that. But really, Johnny rides his bike a lot. And I think I've stressed this in other videos where I've talked about nutrition. It's like, some of the vegans out there will have you think like, oh, you got to eat a certain way to be this lean on a bike, and you really don't. I said it in my video where I was standing in front of the camera. If you just set up a ride plan, guys, and you stick to it, and you ride like Johnny's riding 150 miles a week,
Yeah.
the fat's gonna melt away.
Yeah.
You're just riding so much. It's almost like you can't out eat it. And yeah. Anyway, we're not condoning going out and just eating all these bad foods, but it doesn't take this like mix of like lentils and I don't know
who I really kind of got this from, and I hope I'm not throwing him under the bus if he's watching this, but Travis McCabe. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Rides for UHC now, and I'm sure his diet's a little different. But the year that Eric Marcotte won his first national crit champion, him and Travis came out to the underground crit, and they interviewed him, and they're like, Eric, hey, what do you eat before a ride? And Eric, Eric's very
he's super detailed.
Oh my gosh.
He'd probably tell you how many ounces of date he ate in like what order.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
dude knows his stuff.
Yeah.
He's a genius, and it shows. And then
Yeah.
They interview Travis. They're like, Trav, what do you eat before a ride? He's like, he starts laughing. He's like, dude, I think I ate a burrito before this, and a pizza. And I love that about
Yeah.
Travis, man. And he's a normal dude, and they're normal
Yeah.
guys, and they ride strong. And it's not a big deal as I think people make it out to be.
No, and those are national champions there.
Probably a little different for him today on UHC, but
he probably sorted out a little bit. He's probably a little more, to the T out there in Europe right now. I think they're in Belgium right now.
Yeah, they're in Belgium. They just watched the Omloop Hot Nieuwsblad and Colonel Breasted Kerning. Was crazy.
That's crazy. They're cool, and those are local Arizona boys. So
Arizona, man.
yeah. Okay, so nutrition. That's cool. That's good. Just letting people know what's going on. Let's. How about a little bit on what gearing you run, and the general like idea of your bike. Do you have anything specific you do? I know you ride 175 cranks, and I know this.
I do.
I know you ride 175 cranks because it's in the back of my head that I need 175 cranks to out sprint you at some point.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's true or not, but I feel that way. So what's your bike? Is there anything special besides that?
No, it's funny, people ask me about my setup a lot, and it's really just whatever doesn't break the bank is kind of what I have. Like when I was looking for a new crank, I wanted a Dura-Ace just to kind of match all the other components I had, and the only Dura-Ace I found was a 175. So it wasn't even like I probably shouldn't be on a 175.
You should. I mean,
I should probably definitely go something small, like with my size, but it's what I could afford, so it's on the bike.
I wouldn't change this. I wouldn't change anything. Man.
Yeah, I'm not changing a thing. And a lot of it is, it's one of my favorite sayings with cycling is, it's the Indian, not the arrow. It's all about your fitness, and a good bike helps. And
I'll group myself and everyone listening to this video though. We like to think that if we throw money at the problem, buying carbon wheels and aero speed suits and helmets, and if it is 175 cranks so I can hit 1300 watts like Johnny, then I'm gonna buy 175 cranks. But I guess you're disproving that. You're disproving that eating clean.
Yeah.
We don't need
a lot of things that should.
Yeah, we don't need expensive stuff, and you have a great riding position though too. It's obviously you're not going to see it from this GoPro video. If you back up to some of my group ride videos, like the first video of the year I did where we went out and hit some hills together, you're in my shot a lot, and you're very low on the bike.
Yeah.
You have a very aero position just all the time.
Yeah, very low. I love a slam stem. I love a long stem. I like a saddle not too high. I like to give a lot of seated power. Giving my legs enough chance to give all that power out. And a bike that fits you.
So let's talk. Let's move that. Let's segue right into where I wanted to get, which is, okay. We know about your on-bike training. We know about how you eat. What are we doing? What are we doing at home? What's our homework? Is it gym work? Is it rolling? Flexibility? Are we stretching? Is there anything going on behind the scenes?
A little bit of behind the scenes stuff. So I did get a kettlebell, last summer, because I wanted to do a little bit more.
How heavy?
It's 35 pounds.
35 pounds, okay.
35 pounds kettlebell, and I got it one of those Bosu balls, the half exercise balls.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started doing just some plyometrics and like some box jumps and one-legged stuff and some squats and kind of abs.
How often do you do this stuff?
I probably do, in the off season, I did it every other day. And so I would do it either after the ride, or if I didn't ride that day, then I would do a good leg workout and with the kettlebells and abs.
Core,
and then
very important.
Core is important.
Yeah.
Core is important for
just
positioning.
Right, just talking about what you said.
Stuff.
You like a nice low saddle.
Mm-hmm.
You like to be able to do, a lot of seated power. And to be that low and to put out power, man, it's abs, lower back.
Yep.
A lot, but it's mainly abs, like to keep yourself folded in half, still breathe, still exhale.
Right, because and this is a really short crit for us. This is almost 20 or 30 minutes shorter than what we're used to. But
Mm-hmm.
If you're going over an hour, you really have to work on that strength and in the shoulders and triceps so that you can keep yourself up and kind of still be aero at the end of an hour crit. And here's a fun little turn right here. That I take it right by that cone.
Oof, that was a little tight. Okay, so you're doing kettlebell work.
Yeah.
How much stretching is involved? How much flexibility do you work on?
Probably more than I need to. Before, like the night of a race, I'll spend some time on my foam roller and stretch it out and, feel nice and good to go. But
like throughout the week,
ton.
are you doing hamstring stretches, quad stretches, glutes? What are we stretching specifically?
Kind of nothing really during the week, I'll be honest. Yeah.
No?
Yeah, not a whole lot during the week at all. If anything, probably just like a calf stretch or like a quad stretch, but very, I'll pull my foot up every now and then, but no, very little.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I should be doing more, but
no, that's fine, man.
I don't.
That's fine. It's
I don't.
you do what you do. We just want to know what's going on, and there's definitely.
I'm sure there's people just shaking their heads right now.
You know what? I'm one of them. I'm shaking my head right. You guys can't see it because I have to work on this stuff like religiously. Otherwise, I can't even ride my bicycle.
Yeah. I know I'm lucky.
Well, you're lucky, and you started at an early age, and you've kept with it, and that's what's important. And okay, so we went over strength, nutrition. We still got a little ways to go here, but things are getting a little spicier on the screen.
Yeah, I find my teammate Jake here, and Jake and I ride really well. Jake, myself, Jace, all the guys on the team.
Jake was new to your team, right, this year?
He is. He's a new addition to our team, and he's killing it. I think he's riding the strongest he's ever ridden, and he's been an absolute blast to ride with. And
he did really well in the TT, right?
Man, top 20 TT in Arizona. So he was top 20 in the CAT2, and he had the best TT for an Arizonan. So
best TT for anyone in Arizona right there, and that's Johnny's kind of setup guy, lead out guy, whatever you want to call it.
And there's
along
Jace,
with Jace,
man.
yeah,
Jace
same
is,
thing.
Gosh, when he is on it, man, he's so strong. He's a CAT1 mountain biker, and so I just had some strong guys around me, and you're really only as good as your team, and so these guys are awesome, and they kind of gave this race to me and wanted to set me up for this, and I could be on these guys' wheels and trust that they're going to put me in a good, safe spot. And Jake does that for the next couple laps here, as you're going to watch this unfold.
It's so important. I watched this video before we sat down to have this conversation, and I've raced some crits, and there were some times when I just know without Jake that the energy you would have had to spend to get to positions and stuff that wears on you. That takes that pop out of your legs. When you hit 1300 watts at the end of this race, you start thinking, man, could I have hit 1300 watts if I had to cover that little gap or bridge that or get up there or whatever?
No, probably not.
No.
These guys they're burning matches for me, and and they're awesome.
It's super important.
Yeah, very important. So they kept me fresh all race, and that's why we divide the winnings up at the end. It's a team win here, and these guys kill it. So I wouldn't want to be on anyone else's wheel.
Yeah, no, they're two solid guys. I group ride. I grew up my group ride kind of life with all three of these guys. And at one point, you and Jace have been on teams since I've known you guys, but Jake wasn't. But I just rode with these guys, and any one of these guys can be the fastest guy on a group ride, like depending on where their fitness is in the year. Like I've shown up and I've just watched Jace just ride away from everybody on a ride before, So seriously strong guys, and to have three of them together,
Yeah, we're pretty lucky to have these guys, and
For
they're
sure.
good guys off the bike as well, which
that helps. Yeah,
that helps a lot. So
that is nice.
that's great.
This is another Arizona guy in front of us, right?
Yeah, this is Tanner Thornton. Tanner's a strong dude.
In the red jersey.
Rides for Jet Set, a local team around here. He was on his own all weekend, unfortunately, but he's a great
I've raced
sprinter.
with him before. Nice guy.
Really good sprinter, nice guy.
Good rider.
He's smart too,
Mm-hmm.
and so I knew I could hang around with a couple of these guys, and there's Nick Worski in front of him for Athlete Octane, and if the group rides help because you get to know who to ride next to, which is very helpful. You want to know whose wheel you have and if it's accountable or not.
Yeah. Was there any kind of like I don't want to say animosity, but did it feel like that the California guys were maybe not as polite in corners and in positioning to Arizona guys, or
they're smart. They're used to this big, really big crit. With 60, there's 65 riders in this crit, and they're kind of used to that many registries, and we're kind of used to like 30, 20 or 30 in a race, but they're used to double, and they're smart racers, and there's a little bit of like not a ton of disrespect at all. I mean, they're all really good guys, and everybody that we rode with in this category was just super awesome to ride with. But they know what they're doing, and so they're not afraid to go into a corner and cut you off just because you're an Arizona boy or a local boy. Mm-hmm. So
it looked like a pretty clean race.
It was decently clean. Yeah, no crashes.
No crashes. Yeah, there was some bumping on the last lap. The last corner, coming to the last corner, I saw the guys in front of you start throwing some headbutts.
Yeah, there's some elbows going for sure.
Elbows, and you just kind of like, we're like, oh, I'll just go around. Look at this right here. Jake is just doing work, giving you the whole left side to come up.
So San Diego Bike Club, they start assembling on the front, and this is kind of where we knew, okay, they get 5 or 6 of their guys, and they ride smart together. So they get this train going, and we're kind of like, hey, we gotta jump on this, and there's our race leader there on the right.
This is second to last lap, I think. Here, I think we're coming down to the end. Got to be getting close.
We're coming up to the end here soon.
And Jake's just been in the wind the whole front straightaway, and he's still up there, and you kind of get a little separation, but I think you get back up there. I think there's 2 to go here.
I don't really take any apology for cutting people off to get back on my guy's wheel. I think some people do feel bad for being like, oh man, this dude's got my wheel. Like, no, I'm going to find my teammate's wheel, and I'm not going to feel bad about that.
Yeah, like that's like your position. You feel like that guy's working for me. I'm going to push someone off that wheel. That's your job too. Yeah. Because at the same time that Jake's doing that work, it's your job to get that wheel. Absolutely. If you don't have it, then you're not doing your job.
Right. Exactly. And there's nothing that makes you want to ride harder than seeing your teammates go hard for you.
Right.
And these guys put it all out on the table for me today. So there is nothing more motivating just to give it my best sprint at the end of this for how hard they went for me.
So let me get this set up here. So I know that we're coming up on 1 lap to go. Look at the heart rate, 190. Okay, that, like, to put things in perspective, if you guys don't have a heart rate monitor out there, like, if you're not using one, I think I'm pretty fit. I don't even know if I'd hit 192 beats per minute, period.
No, really?
I don't even know. Like, some people don't even have that ability to get up in that high heart rate. And you're just cruising here at 190, just chilling. You have the hummingbird heart rate right now, like.
Yeah.
And just watch that heart rate. You're not even close to max yet, which is the scary part.
No, I think the most I've ever seen was like 208, 209.
Well, you're gonna see that here, I think.
Yeah, I think it gets up there.
So it's continuing to pick up. I mean, 32 miles an hour down the front straightaway here, and this is not for the sprint.
No, these last 5 laps were 30 plus, man. It was quick.
And people going, you're doing a great job of hiding. I haven't seen you put your nose in the wind here yet once, which is great.
Yeah, no, I tried to stay. I found out where the wind was coming from pretty early on. You need to take those first couple laps to find out, okay, where's the wind coming from? Which side of the peloton do I need to be on? where do I need to be exposed, where do I need to be hidden, where do I need to be on the left side of the group or the right side of the group, and all that stuff. It does come into calculations for sure. It's very strategic, crit racing. And a lot of it is, I may not be the strongest guy, even in this race at all. I for sure wasn't. I mean, I think I was like the 50th time trial, so I certainly wasn't the strongest, but, I've raced a lot of crits, so I think strategy and being smart about it is probably what has to do more with it.
Yeah, so here you go. You found Jake's wheel again. This is Jake in front of you here. He's been battling just to try to stay up near the front himself because, he wants to eventually. He knows that eventually you're going to grab his wheel. He just needs to be near the front.
Yeah.
And things are starting to get, heavy here.
Yeah, it starts picking up a lot. Corners, a lot of risk really kind of come in, and you'll see some pretty gnarly corners. And we're riding really close to each other, and a lot of people, you could feel people's handlebars around you, and people are touching you and grabbing you and elbowing you, and so it's getting feisty these last couple of corners. It was pretty gnarly.
Yeah, and there's always that. I don't know if you feel this way, but like in the last couple laps, I always have that little moment of like, oh my God, I'm too far back, and you're like, oh God, we need to move up, up, and everybody in the group has that same feeling, and that's when it gets real dicey.
Yeah, everybody's trying to get the same position.
Yeah.
You
see Jake looking back there.
Yeah, so I'm yelling to him here. Good communication is key with the team, so I'm yelling to him.
Are you saying like, go, 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 we need to be up, or what? I think this is the last lap here. You're coming across for Bell right here.
This is probably Bell lap, so I'm probably saying to him, yeah, let's go, 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 on your wheel.
The whole front straightaway, passes probably 20 people there.
Yeah.
Brings you up to the front.
That was a clutch move by Jake.
Yeah.
And yeah, he pulls me up, and I was like, yeah, I want to be, that last lap, I want to be top 5 guys, top 10 guys. And this was a really hairy corner right there. Yeah, that was gnarly. All day that corner was tough. And so I find Jake's wheel. We're sitting top 5 right here, so it's perfect. We set it all up, and, we hold a really quick pace. A way that you can not let anybody come up is by going as fast as you can. So that, right now this is just really hard.
Yeah, like right now, if you're not up here or you don't have a teammate to bring you up here, you're losing.
This dude had a gap around him, almost took that cone. Yeah, got real close to that cone on that one. I think shaved off some leg hair there. So I find Jake's wheel, 4 guys in front of us. This is perfect. This is exactly what we wanted to do. Really, this win does. I have to give it to Jake here. He just set me up so perfect, saved a lot of watts for me so I could pour it on the end. And, we talked a lot about when he was going to drop off and when I was going to kick. And it's coming up here. This is the final straight. I just told him, get me top 5 into this second to last corner, and I'll take it from there.
And he's been going so hard, that front straightaway. I'm watching your wattage, and if you go back, guys, and watch the wattage through those corners that Johnny has to do just to be on Jake's wheel, it's crazy. So here we go. 2 corners to go.
I'm yelling at him. I'm like, go, go, go. I drop him off, or he drops me off there. I'm like, all right, dude, I got it.
And you're kind of eyeing things up right now. You got 4 guys in front of you. Do you feel good about that?
I feel really good about this. This is kind of where I knew I had it, was this corner a little bit.
I like it.
I knew these guys were going to die. This straightaway is much longer. I went way too soon, much sooner than I thought I would.
Those guys head
yeah, I don't know what they were doing back there. But yeah, I ripped my legs off on this final straight and went as fast as I could, hit 40 miles an hour, and crossed the line.
That's it, man. 40. And if you guys go back and watch that, 40 miles an hour, and you see his chin come across the top. Okay, I didn't leave much at the end of this video. This is a long video. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for everything. Big thanks to Johnny Corcoran for sitting here and chatting with us this whole crit video.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Thanks, Ricky, man. It's been awesome.
Then Johnny writes for Bicycle Accident Attorneys. I'll link all his stuff in the description below. Guys, his channel runs on tips. If you like the video, leave me a tip. That link's below. If you haven't already, because I know a lot of you guys haven't, click subscribe. I'll keep bringing you more of these. If you want to see more crit casts like this from other riders, let me know. If you're a rider out there and you want to do this with me, shoot me an email or a direct message, and maybe we'll hook up and do this. Thanks, guys, and we'll talk to you next time.